Alrighty, y'all. Welcome back to another live stream here on the channel. Hopefully, everybody's had a great day so far. Let's see what we have in here today. We got Mary Pez, that random guy, as well as Caden. We also have Legacy. We have, let's see, Brittany, Indiana Drew. We have Edits, Jim, Jonathan, Haley, and yeah, everyone else who's also tuning in may not be chatting. Glad to have you here as well, Marcus. Glad to have everyone here, and Ponderosa. Hopefully, y'all have had a great day so far. And yeah, let's go ahead and dive right on into this. We're going to dive on into the main scene here so that way we can go over our risks regions because we're right back to severe weather. You thought it was going to stop? You thought there was going to be a quiet period? Nope. We already got a slight risk for severe weather tomorrow. This one really snuck up on us because of the severe weather yesterday. Already a 5% chance, very large 5% chance for tornadoes, 15 sig wind, and as well as a 15 sig hail. And that doesn't even stop tomorrow. We've got another day. We've got, let's see, I don't even know what day this is. What's today? Tuesday? I don't even know what day it is. It's Monday, so this will be Wednesday's threat here. And that's already a slight risk, large 15 sig out for severe weather. So we'll keep a very close eye on that one as well. Both days have the potential to be significant. Wow, I mean, that's crazy. Just finished with a tornado outbreak yesterday. I don't think tomorrow is going to have the potential to be a tornado outbreak. We're definitely going to be at risk to see a few tornadoes for sure. There's still a bit of confidence issues, but honestly, I wouldn't be too shocked to see us start talking about the potential for an outbreak tomorrow. But we'll wait until tomorrow morning, and then we'll be able to see a lot more information on the wind shear. That is my number one question for both of these days, is the wind shear, because I feel like we just don't have a solid jet stream on either one of these days. So that's going to be my biggest question for both tomorrow, which is Tuesday, as well as Wednesday, is how strong will the wind shear be, because there's no like big mega trough or anything like that for either one of these days. So we'll keep an eye on it for sure. We're definitely going to be live for both of those days. Tomorrow, the live stream for tomorrow, just might as well tell you all the plan. I'm planning on starting coverage. Oh Lord, we might be live at 3, and geez, oh wow, it looks like another. Why, dude? This is gonna murder me. From 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. From like 2 to 9, just consistent tornadic thunderstorms. We may have another 7+ hour live stream on our hands tomorrow. This is gonna go enhanced. I'd be blown away. And then we'll probably be doing it again on Wednesday. Now, Wednesday actually might not be as big because of that jet stream I was talking about. I was talking about that jet stream. So there's not really this intense forcing mechanism like we had, for instance, yesterday, the day before that, the day before that, the day before that. So I'm unsure on how significant Wednesday may be, but tomorrow is getting set in stone. After looking at the models more in depth, I do think tomorrow has the potential to be an outbreak yet again. Probably over the majority of Iowa. Storms will probably fire in extreme east northeastern Nebraska, track over pretty much all of Iowa, and then also additional storms in central Kansas. Let's switch to the proper risk here. So storms will fire here, and they'll probably track through all of Iowa, like I said. Then we'll see additional development later in the afternoon down here, moving out to the southeast. And I think all hazards are going to be on the table. I know all hazards will be on the table, but maybe even all significant hazards. We might be talking about significant tornadoes tomorrow as well. I'm not 100% sure on that because I don't know the jet stream intensity. That is the number one factor, but it looks like if any day is going to have a strong lower level jet and a stronger mid level jet, it's going to be tomorrow over like northwestern and central Iowa. So here's the HRRR. If we just take a look, I want to look at the 5% area, see where that is. Yeah, so I mean that stretches over really the entire risk area. Storms fire up 3:34 o'clock out here, progress southeastward. You can see big hail, damaging winds, and most likely multiple brief tornadoes. Wouldn't be all that shocked to hear tomorrow, possibly going enhanced. I wouldn't be surprised at all. And these storms in Kansas, so that's the big issue is the jet stream. So let me show you the jet stream. The reason why I'm kind of iffy on exactly how big the tornado threat will be tomorrow. If we have a good jet stream, a good enough shear, I think tomorrow will be going enhanced. If not, it will go enhanced for like hail or wind or both. But here's the mid-level jet stream. You can see how we do have a weak mid-level jet stream present over Iowa, northeastern Nebraska, southeastern South Dakota, but there's barely really anything out there in Kansas. Maybe a very, very weak mid-level jet stream. So I'm very much questioning exactly how strong and how high end the threat may be tomorrow for Kansas, tornadic wise. But right now, I definitely see the potential for a couple tornadoes in that area that I just circled. I'll take a quick peek at their discussion here for tomorrow. I've already read it. The risk for very large hail, severe winds, and a few tornadoes. They don't even say possible. They just say straight up, just like they were saying yesterday too, and the day before that, and the day before that. So it seems like a few tornadoes are at this point nearly expected. So I imagine if we can get the jet stream, particularly across western Iowa in the early evening as the lower level jet increases, that's when the tornado threat will be the highest. So if we can get that wind shear, that jet stream to uptrend a bit more, then that will probably warrant an enhanced risk. They're already calling for 75-mile-an-hour winds here. 75-mile-an-hour winds, a few tornadoes. I didn't see the hail size, but I'm sure it's 2+ in diameter. I don't see them mentioning anything about the exactly how large the hail may be tomorrow. Let's see here. Yeah, just very large hail. So typically very large hail is near 3-inch in diameter. So I imagine they're calling for about that. So large hail typically is about around the realms of 1-inch hail, I think. Let's see. Yeah, large hail is 1-inch hail. Very large hail is about 2-inch hail, actually, I believe. So very large hail. I wouldn't be too surprised to hear them call for 3-inch hail, but I don't know if it's going to be that extreme. I don't know if it's going to be that extreme, but it's definitely going to be quite a lot. Regardless, we're looking at 70+ mile-an-hour winds, 2+ inch hail, and a few tornadoes being possible for sure. I'm unsure on exactly how high end those hazards may be. But we'll just, we'll figure that out the closer we get, which obviously it's tomorrow. And I think the wind shear is going to be the number one limiting factor out there. And I want to check let's see here, the other model runs. Let me bring y'all over to our main models real quick. bring y'all over to the NAMNIST model. So yeah, you can see the NAM shows storms initiating. These models are relatively in agreement, the NAM and the HRRR. So the NAM, just kind of memorize what the NAM shows here. And then we can switch over to the HRRR. And you'll notice the HRRR does generally the exact same thing. It might be a little bit later on the initiation in Kansas, but I mean, it is like nearly the exact same thing between those two model runs. And the capping won't be an issue until more of the nocturnal hours when that jet stream starts to kick up. So we'll see about how big of a nocturnal threat we have. I'm not expecting any severe weather after like 11 p.m. Midnight tomorrow. But we could definitely see it beyond that for sure. But we'll just keep a very close eye on it and see what will happen. Let's see here. All right. So we'll keep an eye on it. But the ingredients are definitely present for sure. The wind shear is there. Kinda. It's really there in Iowa, like I was saying before. As well as Missouri. Not so much in Kansas until the nocturnal hours once those storms start to congeal into a line. So that most likely won't be any strong tornado potential in Kansas tomorrow. But still, regardless, tornado potential is going to be very present. And like I said in my video, there's not really a sharp dry line or anything too crazy like that. We have a sharper dry line down here where we're not expecting severe weather in Oklahoma. But the main dry line isn't all that well defined. I mean, you can still see it. You can still see that dry line here. So it's still easy to pick out, but it's not like, you know, from 25 to near 60, 70 like it is out here in southern Kansas. In Iowa, it's more like 51 to 61, so not as significant. And then Wednesday, I don't know about Wednesday, but it does have a classic look to it for severe potential and strong tornado potential. But again, my main question is how strong would the jet stream be? So basically, if we don't have a jet stream, then that tornado potential should be on the lower side of things. But we are going to have a jet stream. It's just a matter of exactly where it places up and where it sets up, which for tomorrow, I think it's going to be Iowa, nearly all of Iowa in eastern Nebraska, maybe even into Kansas and northern Missouri. And then Wednesday, it's probably going to be towards central Kansas, western Oklahoma, southern Kansas as well. But it's not nearly as strong. So we'll see. I'm very much curious in that it looks like it's lacking in the mid-levels. Like the lower levels look kind of crazy. The mid-levels just look trash, at least from what I can see right now. The upper levels look okay. So it's like the mid-level jet stream and wind shears on the lower side of things here. Let's see here. Alrighty. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. But we're going to go ahead and dive on into these models even more. So before we do that, make sure y'all hit that like button and share the stream with family, friends, social media, help spread weather awareness. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. It's greatly appreciated. But I want to take a look here at the wrap to see. Okay. I want more north. Okay, so there's the wrap. There's the HRRR. And wow. Wow, that is a big difference between the NAM. Look at that. The NAM's way down here with the low pressure. The HRRR, obvious low pressure. The wrap, obvious low pressure. What about the GFS? Not as obvious, but you can still kind of make it out generally right in this area. Kind of in between the HRRR and the NAM. The European, or rather, yeah, the European there as well. So we'll see. There's still uncertainty on exactly where that low pressure is going to set up, and that is a big factor. Because watch how much the ingredients change. So there's your HRRR, there's your wrap, there's your NAM. Notice how far south it is. Your NAM 3K, very far south, and GFS still far south as well. So it depends greatly on where that low pressure sets up on exactly how far the northern extent of those ingredients will be. Let me take a look quickly at our fronts here. So the National Weather Service, or rather the Weather Prediction Center, they're expecting the low pressure to be over south central Kansas by about 18Z. we'll keep an eye on that. And Legacy, I don't know if you're here, Catman as well. Anybody who lives out there towards the southern plains, there is a notable uptrend in the model runs that is extremely concerning. I want to see if it's on the new GFS as well. We'll see shortly. Matter of fact, we might see here. But there's a uptrend in model runs on this big trough being very significant. It spreads out towards Oklahoma. That would be another considerable, significant tornadic threat there from May 6th into May 7th. And that would actually spread into Arkansas and Tennessee and Kentucky and explode in intensity as we go through May 8th. And that would definitely be the most notable threat we've seen out there this year. Towards like Western Kentucky, Western Tennessee, Arkansas, Southeast Missouri, Illinois, Indiana. So I'm watching that very, very closely for model trends. The GEFS, the ensemble for the GFS is already highly confident in a significant severe episode. I want to take a look at our different ensembles here. So let's zoom in out here real quick. So here's the different scenarios. You can see there is a really good amount of uncertainty still present, but every model run has supercell composite present. Only one of them is very pathetic, and that's ensemble member 7. But this is very far out. I mean, we are talking 200 plus hours out, so a lot will change. A lot will change. It's not, it might change. It's going to change. How much is just something we'll have to determine later down the line. But I mean, you can already see that models are definitely hinting towards a significant severe threat. Now, the European here doesn't show it as substantial, but you can still see that trough. It has it much more to the northwest, which I feel like that is just completely wrong. I feel like that's wrong because, I mean, this jet stream is going to pull out. So we'll see. The GFS has these two combining, which I think is a much more substantial and more realistic scenario with this trough pulling down and combining with our subtropical jet stream like we've seen, I don't even know, 5, 6, maybe even more times this year. I think that's a lot more realistic of a scenario, which the European shows, like I said, it just kind of spins up here in the northwest. So again, this is far out. This could go from, wow, could be big outbreak to, okay, literally nothing in, 1, 2 model runs here. But here's the new GFS, and you can see it's already about to combine it there on the new GFS. I'm curious to see exactly how significant that might be, so we'll definitely be live to see the entirety of the severe threat rendering on this model run. So we'll keep a very, very close eye on it. There is a really good chance that is our next substantial severe threat. First, we got to get through tomorrow, then we got to get through Wednesday, then we got to get through Thursday. And then I think there's probably going to be another severe threat intermittently, maybe for just one day or so, right around maybe Saturday or maybe Sunday. But it would be a pretty minimal threat, maybe Friday. But it should be a pretty minimal threat. I'm getting a call. Let me go ahead and deny that. Bear with me. I forgot I haven't set up D&D on my new phone for stream time. I'll make sure to do that after my live stream because I just transferred all my data between the two phones. So I'll make sure to do that. Girl Dev, there is a high chance that it just disappears off the models. But we definitely are going to watch it. But first we got to get through, all the way till Saturday. Once we get to like Friday, Saturday, that's when we're going to be able to really determine how significant or how pathetic that severe threat may be. So yeah, Saturday and Friday, Saturday, that trough, we'll figure out if that trough is going to just slide across the U.S. up here and do literally nothing for severe weather, or if it's going to divot down like the GFS says, pick up more of a jet stream here, and then move across, Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, and then probably be the most substantial threat for right out in here is what I'm looking at. But again, there's so much uncertainty for that. We gotta take it one system at a time, which is why 2 weeks ago I saw multiple posts on it saying the Omega block would return in early May. I even talked about it very briefly. I just mentioned it in my live stream and said how it's going to change. that completely went off the models. Like, there's not going to be an omega block. Models like to do that, especially at the end of the model runs. Let's see if we have it here. So we don't have it at the, oh, actually, this isn't the new, the older model run. So here's the end of the old model run. And it actually doesn't show that. But you can see it attempts to do it. I mean, you've got a low pressure here and a low pressure here. It just doesn't set up that omega block properly here. Which is what, like, I mean, so many days ago it showed that. So I'm not worried about quiet weather in the US, unfortunately. It looks like we're going to be in a very active long stretch of severe weather, and we're going to have to be in it for the long haul. That started on April 25th, April 26th, and it's going to last until at minimum of mid-May. So yeah, I mean, it's, I don't know how substantial the threats will be. First, we got to get through, like I said, tomorrow, which I wouldn't be shocked if tomorrow goes enhanced for every hazard. Wednesday, I'm unsure on exactly how substantial that tornado threat may be. And then anything after that is just full of uncertainty. Even Thursday and Friday, we don't know how significant or how minimal the severe threat may be for that day as well. But here's the day 4 through 8 outlook from the SPC. Their outlook goes till Monday, which I don't know if that's... Yeah, so our severe threat that I was just talking about out for, like, Illinois, Tennessee, Arkansas, that would be day 9 or day 10. But at the end of the outlook, they say predictability regarding the synoptic patterns wanes rather quickly by the weekend. In general, a cold front is expected to move southeastward on day 5 Friday, and then should stall over the southern plains into the lower Mississippi Valley. Rich lower level moisture will support daily destabilization along and just south of the front. However, the potential for either storm development across Texas or for moisture and instability to be drawn more northward into larger portions of the plains remains quite uncertain into early next week. So they're already talking about a big severe episode, just a matter of how widespread it may be. So we'll see. Some models show it towards like Oklahoma and Kansas, just those two states. Other models like the GFS show Oklahoma, Kansas, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, Tennessee, Alabama, which is a lot more than just two states. So there's still wide variety between those model runs that we're going to have to work out, and we'll have to figure out exactly how significant that threat may be. But yeah, I mean, you can see that low pressure stalls over the plains, like they said. And it's just a question of how significant it may be, and we'll see. They made that announcement a while ago, Pez, which was effective right off the bat. They said that they introduced surface-based instability for the European model on College DuPage, which really helps with at least figuring out generally what models are trying to say, which, again, here you go. So there's a European for this particular day. Big area of instability out there. Now, that doesn't show any capping because that's not on the product. So not because there's not a capping in place, but because the product doesn't have capping overlaid with it. And then the GFS shows it out here. So, like I said, big model uncertainty on exactly where that will place, which is why I said, Catman as well out towards Oklahoma, Kansas, because we're generally going to watch this area here, generally out here, but we're just going to have to narrow it down to see exactly where the pinpoint area of most significant severe weather may occur. For instance, kind of like with the previous outbreak, how we started 6 days out and it was like, okay, Kansas, Oklahoma, and then it was 5 days out, okay, Kansas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Missouri, Nebraska, Iowa, and then it just continued to expand on the states, and it looked more and more widespread. But as we figured out it was more widespread, the SPC continue to upgrade that categorical risk all the way till a moderate, narrowing it down to the biggest threat over Kansas and Oklahoma and Texas, which, by the way, that risk 2 days ago performed as expected. We now have had our first confirmed EF4 tornado, which was the tornado that went through the Marietta area, that big debris signature that we saw. I'm pretty sure that was the one that was not confirmed until after it went through Marietta. Even though, despite the debris signature lofting 32,000 plus feet up in the atmosphere, that is our first confirmed EF4 of 2024 with wind speeds at 170 plus miles per hour. We'll see if they could still downgrade it, but most likely that's going to stay EF4. It's not really, it's very rare to see them downgrade an EF4 once they put that out because they're very careful. Once they get to EF4 and EF5, they are very, very careful on what they say, the wording they use, and the wind speeds put out. Because once that rating's out, a lot of people are just going to, they're going to expect that to stay the same, which it could still change. It could still get upgraded a little bit more, but that is our first EF4 as of now. And then the other tornadoes have been surveyed. Elkhorn has been rated an extremely high-end EF3. The one that went through northeast of Omaha, extremely high-end EF3. The one that went through west of Trainer, Iowa, extremely high-end EF3. The one that hit Minden, Iowa, extremely high-end EF3. So that's 5 EF3s that have been confirmed from that outbreak on April 26th. And the Minden one was actually 0.96 miles wide. So just 0.4 under a mile wide tornado, which is, I'm quite sure, the biggest tornado that we've seen of 2024 so far. And then the fifth EF5, or EF5, my word, the fifth EF3 was the Elba one. The fifth EF3 was the Elba one, which was the one that we went an urgent live stream for. Now, that one has been rated a low-end EF3 because it nicked the western side of the town where there was some sturdy structures enough to upgrade that from a high-end EF2 to a low-end EF3. And I don't know how wide that one was. That was 600 yards compared to the one, like I said, in western Iowa, which was 1,700 yards. So there's just some of your updates. Also, we have, I think, like 4+ fatalities that occurred, unfortunately, in Oklahoma. They confirmed a fatality from one of the storms in, I believe it was the one in Ohio from March 14th, which was a while back. They also confirmed a fatality in I think it was southeast Nebraska on the 26th, and then way more injuries. I don't know exactly how many injuries have been confirmed so far, but I know it was like 4 or 5 fatalities from the outbreak that have already been confirmed. And the injury count is most likely, I've seen 60 plus is the injury count, 70 plus is the injury count, but to be honest, I haven't seen any official numbers yet. Which is why I haven't really mentioned the injury count there, but it's most likely, it's up there. It's up there. It's up there. And that is the second biggest outbreak of 2024, which our biggest outbreak of 2024 was the April 1st through 3rd outbreak, that double moderate we had. But I mean, this one's probably going to surpass that once they continue to observe tornadoes, because they still haven't surveyed any of the tornadic activity west of Fort Worth on the 27th. So I expect that to surpass the other outbreak. And again, the outbreak we just we just watched unfold 2 days ago. The 27th, that also has the first EF4 confirmed from it. Let's see here. All right. So, let's see the GFS. Hopefully it's rendered in a bit more ever since I started blabbering on about what we covered there. Oh, geez. Let's see how different that is. Right off the bat, a way slower ejecting trough. So that's either going to push the threat into too late on Monday to where we have the capping build in and we're left with one of those situations where is the capping going to break, or are we going to see, are we going to see explosive development, or is the capping going to hold and we see absolutely diddly squat doo-doo mustard like we saw the two other threats, which was the 25th, and we saw another one like around the 19th or something, right around there with the exact same setup. So we'll see. We'll see. This is probably going to be right at the, right in the middle of the night of Monday night here. So that's just a model run. It's going to change. This one is barely before Fantasyland, to the point where I'm confident in at least some severe weather. I was going to say significant, but at least some severe weather, possibly significant, occurring right out here towards Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas being a possibility. But it's still going to shift. You know, we've seen them just shift and it become just a small severe threat, which is why I said, you know, I didn't mean to say significant there because it's still going to shift around. But models are fairly confident in that one. They're already showing, if I just show y'all the supercell composite, yeah, there you go. Already fairly confident in a severe weather episode, but the significance of it is still to be determined, of course. So I don't want to say too much about, you know, the hazards there, but it will most likely be an all hazards threat. But I don't know exactly how significant those hazards will be. But first, like I said, we'll figure out much more on that Friday, Saturday, once we get closer to the threat. After our first severe threat gets out of here, which is this one over here. We've got, again, if you're just tuning in, a 5% chance for tornadoes, slight risk for severe weather out here. We've got that big slight risk in the yellow area, 5% chance for severe weather, or 5% chance for severe weather, 5% chance for tornadoes, my word. Slight risk, 5% chance for tornadoes, 15% chance for damaging winds, and that is expected to be significant, 75 plus, and significant hail, 2-inch in diameter plus as well for tomorrow. Then we move on into Wednesday, which is the same hazards, if not a bit higher of a tornado threat, being a significant tornado threat possible. And tomorrow, I wouldn't be surprised, like I said, if they upgrade that to an enhanced for all hazards. That just seems like it's going to be a bit of a bigger day than a slight risk, so we'll keep an eye on it. Also, once again, if you guys are just tuning in, make sure you guys hit that like button, share this with your family, friends, social media, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Currently, the video that I uploaded earlier today is doing the best that any video has done this year. So after this live stream, if you could go like that video as well. You guys already have that like goal on every video. Our like goal is like 30, right about 30. It's already at 40, and it's only an hour and 20 minutes in, which means the YouTube algorithm hasn't even gotten a hold of that video yet. So that's probably going to reach a lot of people there. So a lot of people are going to be weather aware just from that video. So thank you guys for pushing that out to the algorithm. That's all you guys. Some videos don't hit it, and then other videos, you guys, you know, it pushes out very far because of y'all. Let's see here. So, like I said, with that other severe threat, y'all, next week, I do want to just remind y'all that things are going to change. Although I'm confident in a severe weather threat, it could disappear off the models, and then tomorrow I could be saying, yep, no severe weather for that particular day. I didn't look and see, yeah, but I mean, it's uncertainty. It is uncertainty. That trough's either going to go north and we're going to see nothing, or it's going to go south and we're going to talk about another big severe threat. So I just want to make that clear that models are still going to shift. There's still uncertainty between the model runs. Now, the GFS is highly confident in a significant severe episode and outbreak occurring, but look how much that changes. So look at the trough. This would be a very bad situation for a nocturnal threat for all hazards being significant on May 6th, Monday. But watch the European model. Boom, gone, all the way up north. So far north that severe weather would barely even be a possibility. So I just want to remind y'all that it could just poof, disappear off the model runs. But if this were to happen, we'd be looking at a significant threat. But again, it could just disappear off the model runs. I want to make that very clear. Thank you for subscribing, Robert. Much appreciated. Well, I hope you subscribe to the channel then, because we're watching weather all the time. We watched the weather for 15 hours straight here on YouTube on April 27th as we track that historic outbreak. So, I mean, absolutely crazy. By the way, again, with that EF4 that's been confirmed, preliminarily rated EF4 by the National Weather Service in Norman on April 27th, that is the first EF4 in the month of April to be rated ever since some April day in 2016. Which is crazy. And I'm quite sure 2016 was a big year for severe weather. I don't really remember that too well. Let's see. I know it was a massive year for the Mid-Atlantic. Because I remember 2016 was one of the most notable years for severe weather out here in like North Carolina, Virginia. Let's see here. Actually, I think 2016 was below the average year. Let me see. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah, I think 2016 was a well below average year for severe weather. Yeah, there was an outbreak in late May that spiked the tornado threat, or spiked the tornado count. And then it looked like it was a relatively inactive stretch from like early June all the way till late August where we had another outbreak. And then very inactive stretch from early October through mid-November in 2016. But yeah, anyways, that's when the last EF4 in Oklahoma was confirmed in April. So the one we just saw on April 27th was the first one in, man, how long ago was that? 2016? That's like 8 years ago. Jeez. Jeez, that's crazy. That is insane. I remember 2016 like it was yesterday. That was a really good year. 2016 was like peak life for me. Even though I was like I was like 10, 10, 11. That was like the best life has ever been. Better than what it's been now, but I mean, now I'm on YouTube and doing what I love, so debatably 2024 is better. Yes, it is still uh, road. I'm Maury. I'll call you Maury if that's okay. Um, there's still a chance that all the tornadoes could get upgraded. Nothing is like set in stone. The ones in southeastern Nebraska, the Lincoln one, the Omaha, all four are the ones in Omaha, as well as the one out there towards south central Oklahoma and the ones in central Oklahoma. They could all be upgraded. Any tornado could be upgraded at all. It could all be upgraded, so that's why there's still ongoing surveys there. But right now, we're looking at 5 EF3s that have been confirmed from the 26th outbreak, and an EF4 from the 27th outbreak. They also did confirm that there was, in fact, a tornado northwest of El Reno. They've so far preliminarily rated that one EF1. They have also confirmed the tornadoes in Norman. There was not one, not two, not three, not four, not five, not six, not seven, not eight, but 9 tornadoes around OKC. And in Norman directly, there was one that went through. We saw that on the radar signature north of Norman, or in northern Norman, I should say. So one tornado directly went through like downtown Norman, but around the OKC area, it was like 9. Absolutely crazy. And the one, remember the twin debris signatures we saw? So not one of those twins, but the one that formed after that, like those two areas of rotation merged on the 27th. And once those merged, that's the tornado that dropped. That is the one that's been rated significant EF2 so far with wind speeds of 125. That's the only significant one out of that like 9-10 tornado bunch in central, like dead central Oklahoma, OKC area. And then, of course, the one in west of Holdenville, we saw that. It touched down in Spalding, just like me and Lucky thought. When they didn't observe it, we saw that big debris signature. We thought it was corruption at first, but then it continued and we knew it was debris. And it was radar indicated at the time. It took them a very long time to get that to observe. They actually skipped observed, I believe, and put it to right to PDS west of Holdenville. That one's been preliminary rated an extremely strong EF3 tornado with winds of 145. So that's not high-end EF3. I think the highest end EF3 you can get is 165 before it turns into an EF4 at 170. So that's like a mid-tier EF3 right there. And of course, that's from the 27th. So many tornadoes, so many. I'll just show you all the map of it. This is from the 27th and the 26th and the 27th. You can see all these tornadoes down here in Texas. Let me switch scenes so y'all can see it better here. So you can see all the ones out here in Texas, the EF4 right there. All the other tornadoes out here in Oklahoma. That one stubborn cluster that just wouldn't let go out there in southeast Kansas moved into Missouri and produced multiple weak tornadoes. I think one was rated EF2. Yeah, a brief, actually two. Is that a third one? Actually, three. Three of those were significant. One, two, and three. All rated EF2 right there. Let's see. And what about these over here? Yeah, this just consistently dropped weak tornado after weak tornado after weak tornado, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 from like the same little bunch of storms that moved up. We did get a tornado warning west of St. Louis after we ended the stream on the 27th. I was asleep once that came through, but I don't believe that did anything. Oh, actually, was that yesterday? I think that was yesterday where we got the tornado warning west of St. Louis, not the 27th. I think that was the 28th, yesterday. And I don't know if how many of these. Let's see how many of these are the 29th. Only this one north of Huntsville, so that was on the ground. Remember, we had that warning north of Huntsville, northeast of Huntsville. So we had one on the ground here, which was at 8:36. We were definitely live for that one yesterday. EF1 confirmed there. So I'm using the official NOAA damage assessment toolkit map. You can see that with the link in the chat there. That's what I use. It's not the most in-depth one, but it's the one that's like, it gets them the quickest and the easiest one to use and understand. So, yeah, that's in the chat there. And you can change the date at the top right, far top right, you can change the date. So again, if we just do like just the 26th and just the 27th, which we did before, again, you can see all the tornadoes that just formed here and just went through Omaha. We had one, these are all significant, by the way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it lifted, and then 6, and then 7, 8, 9, 10. What the heck? Downtown Des Moines? I feel like I remember that one. Oh, yes! The one that went right over Pleasant Hill. Yes, yes, I do remember that one. So those aren't out just yet. The damage indicators aren't out. So see how it's just a yellow line, so you can't look at any of the damage. But these, so let's just click on a random one out here. Of course, this is from Omaha, Nebraska here, the National Weather Service out there, northwestern Elkhorn. Let's just click on one of these houses. By the way, this is going to be quite significant damage, so just a warning to those who may be sensitive to it. So you could just click on that attachment, and then boom, wow. Jeez. That is ridiculous right there. So that's probably a pretty well-built structure. Yeah, 152 mile an hour winds right there. Wow, that is crazy. That's from the one in northwestern Elkhorn, was it? Yeah, Elkhorn. Martin, I posted the link just above Legacy's chat, like not but about a minute ago. And then we could just choose another one. So let's just say the one that's impacted northeastern Omaha out here. Let's just go to when we had a significant debris signature, which was out here. And see what this was. This is EF3 152 once again. And there's so many damage points here that you can look at. So there's one. Here's another one from a tree. There's another one as well. So you could just look at so many of them, all the damage that's occurred from these. And then I don't know if they've done the EF4 damage indicators yet. Those aren't even appearing up, so let me change that. Yeah, they haven't done the EF4 damage indicators yet, or any out here in Oklahoma. Those are still all being surveyed, officially surveyed there. They're still being surveyed. They already put preliminary ratings of EF3 and even an EF4 out there. Another one of our more stronger ones was this one towards Shelby. It went right through the downtown area of Maiden. It was 1,700 yards wide. So we could just look at another damage point from this. Jeez, I don't know if that was a full house. I saw this one before because it was crazy. I don't know if that was like a fully well-built home there. Wind speeds of 160. So I imagine that was like, I imagine that was insane. I imagine that was like a pretty well-built home, and that was like the basement and the underlevel. And it just collapsed the whole house. That's what I'm guessing, at least. I don't know exactly how well built this was, but I mean, they say 160, one or two family residents, all walls collapsed. So I think that's this one, all walls collapsed there. So that's crazy. Absolutely insanity. We could do another one out here as well. 145. I mean, just ridiculous damage. Ridiculous damage. Absolutely absurd. And this is why me and Lucky were speechless through most of these debris signatures and stuff, because we knew that, you know, once you see that type of debris signature in a populated town, you could end up with damage like this stuff here, which is just insane. And that's why we were speechless so often in both of those live streams. And then thankfully it looks like it avoided very populated areas there, but I mean, it still went through populated regions. This was another indicator out here, Highway 44. We could take a look at that. Is that a car? Is that a car? Holy crap. So this is the one that got it rated in EF3 there as well. 140, a large structure of a roof structure removed. Most walls remain standing, which you can see most walls remain standing, but the whole roof's gone. Whole roof's gone there. I can only imagine if that's, you know, if what we just looked at up here is mid-tier and low-end EF3, and then of course this stuff was high-end EF3. I can only imagine what the EF4 damage indicators are going to be. Which I think it was a near flattened Dollar General or Dollar Tree, something around the realms of that, which got it its EF4 rating. I think I'll go look at their tweet. I remember they tweeted it. NWS Norman, because those are the ones. That's the National Weather Service that surveyed it. Let's see here. Dollar Tree Warehouse and Homeland Store in Marietta. Dollar Tree Warehouse. That's why they upgraded that to EF4. That is crazy. Absolutely insane. And like I said, for a good chunk of that tornado, we weren't even aware of it. Like, me and Lucky weren't aware that there was a tornado ongoing until about here, because we had a tiny debris signature, and then we just had a massive CC with over 30,000 feet. But we were focusing on the tornadoes on the ground in Norman at the time, up here. We weren't looking down here because our closest radars was the one out here towards Lawton, and the one like out in this general area. So this was in a radar hole, and we saw that debris signature for multiple scans once they confirmed it. And I mean, absolutely insane. That one left us speechless because we weren't even aware of it at all. And then this one also went through Dickinson as well. Wow. Dude. So that's from the same tornado. Wow. Jeez. That's crazy. So it didn't recycle. It just stayed on the ground. Wow. So when we thought it lifted, it just continued. Jeez. And then, of course, the high-end EF3 sulfur one as well. I imagine that's high-end. Yeah, there's, you see the plus? See the plus? That means they're not done yet. It could be upgraded to EF4. EF3 plus. So they're not even close to finishing with that one in sulfur. And this one is EF4 as of now. But again, it could fluctuate. They may upgrade that to like 175, or they could even downgrade it back to a high EF3. But like I said, typically, you know, they're gonna hold off on upgrading stuff to EF4 until they are confident, and then they'll upgrade it. And it's very, extremely rare that you see them downgrade it back down to EF3 after they've already, you know, said it's EF4. Let's see here. Oh my goodness. Girl Dev, this is just a model run, okay? Please don't panic. But the 18Z GFS did shift it up your way, so you can see the Oklahoma threat, Missouri, and it did shift that big outbreak potential, which, again, it's gonna change. But based on GFS, it would be outbreak potential. But again, other models show literally nothing happening, so we take it with a grain of salt and we act as if it's not gonna happen. But we're still gonna watch models to see if it stays for a long time. But before you saw that it was down here, that now moved all the way up here, and even I'm in that. I mean, even I'm in that risk. I would be even at risk for tornadoes with that. My word, that is insane. And just to show you, like I said, how much that changed. So that could shift back south. It could shift west, east. It could just disappear completely. By no means is that a threat that we are expecting. We are not expecting this threat just yet. However, we are, of course, expecting the threat for severe weather tomorrow, as well as Wednesday. Thursday's a bit questionable right now, as well as Friday's questionable. But we are also watching a severe threat is possible Monday. It is expected tomorrow, which is Tuesday, and expected Wednesday. Possible Monday as well. And possible Tuesday next week. And then after that, we're in pure fantasy land. So anything out here is just, we're not expecting anything out of that because it's going to change. Like I said, we've flipped before. Model runs in late April, about like, I don't know, random date, April 18th. Mid-late April, they were showing an Omega block for this exact time frame right now through early May, and now that we're here, it's completely flip-flopped. It's a complete opposite of an Omega block, which means Omega block means it just blocks all the troughs from entering the US, so your severe potential is basically zero, very, very slim, and we've gone 360. I mean, obviously, we just had one of the biggest outbreaks of 2024 from the 26th all the way to the 28th. I mean, it was a 4-day outbreak. We had an outbreak on the 26th. Actually, I don't know if that one's been... I don't know about the 26th. I want to go check that. Because I know we had an outbreak yesterday. We had the one on the 27th and the one on the 26th. But I don't know about the one on the 25th. Yeah, so we had an outbreak yesterday. We had an outbreak on the 27th, the 26th. Okay, and the 25th is also an outbreak. Okay, so yeah. We had a tornado outbreak on the 25th. The 26th was major and historic. The 27th was major and historic. And then as well on the 28th. So we had small outbreak, big outbreak, possibly historic, or was historic, big outbreak, historic, and then another small scale tornado outbreak as well. And today we've had, the only reports we've received today is a hail report from the severe in New York, which I think is still severe, or maybe not. Where is there severe? Oh, those are in Ontario, but we did have a severe up here. Where the heck even am I? Up here north of New York City. From this storm, that dropped a hail report there of 1-inch hail. Then we also got a wind report in New Orleans of 60-mile-an-hour winds. And then I think a fish reported this. I believe a fish reported this, if I'm not mistaken. Let me show y'all that. I think a fish reported a damaging wind gust of 68-mile-an-hour winds out here. Being realistic, was probably like a buoy or something. But, I mean, you could see there's right there. Or just a random wind report in the middle, north central Gulf of Mexico there. Might have been from a fish. You never know. We said to make sure you warn your fish friends about that before. You gotta make sure your fish friends know about the severe weather. I don't think there's any severe weather out there for the fishes right now. I'll go ahead and check for them. Yeah, no, there's some isolated strong storm for the fishes out there. Out here, you can see these in the northwestern Gulf of Mexico. But other than that, that's really it. There's also a little line starting to form south of Mobile. You can see that as well, but that's very weak. This might be a decently strong line out, or decently strong clusters out there. So, y'all, we'll be live multiple times again. Tomorrow's a coverage stream. We're still going to stay live here for a while longer. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit that like button. Also, hit this when you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the bell, set it to all so you know when I go live or upload a video. And like I said, hit the like button on the live stream and share the stream with the family, friends, social media. Anybody who you can share it to, share them the stream. That's very important. And yeah, like I said in my community post, for those who might be wondering where the other streams and videos went, I did delete them all because we're gonna start fresh again. There was just so many live streams; it was cluttering the live feed. We had so many. We had over 560 live streams available to the public. And the videos, those are all old as well, so I just decided to delete all those. There's a very good chance I won't be doing that again. That's the only mass deletion of stuff we're going to be doing on the channel. We did a small one before and a smaller one in October, but that was a big deletion of them, of most of our videos and live streams. So just a heads up there. Let's see here. No, I didn't, Martin. I saved them long enough, so I just decided to delete them all. I saved old ones. Like, you guys could still go back and watch my first video. 2 years ago, I saved the Lucky's biggest glitch, Mike glitch, as well as my first storm chase on videos. And the only live stream I saved from a long time ago was, I don't think I saved any. Yeah, I didn't save any. Wait, no, I did. I know I did. I know for a fact I did. Yeah, I saved my first live stream from the 3 years ago. So I saved some very old ones, just so people know. I still have a lot. Like, there's still a lot. Here's my channel, of course. Like, there's still a lot here. There's still a lot of streams that you can go back and watch. Same with the videos. There's still a decent amount of videos. And I kept the Radar Mega tutorial and the Attic Radar tutorial. So, I mean, I just wanted to go through it because there were so many of the old streams and I didn't want to keep them there for so long. So, Kay, what I do with the old streams, so that way you don't get confused, see how all these are titled differently? So you have, April 4th, 2024 briefing, April 15th, severe event, April 27th, historic tornado outbreak part 1 and part 2, and then you have live. So this is live. I always have the red dot, and then sometimes it's live, breaking, urgent, and then the title there. So you'll always see on these, you'll always see the something on some date for all of these here. I title them differently, so that way you know that they are old live streams, except for this one. This one's titled just very old. So just to let y'all know, I'm sure a few of y'all already saw it and figured it out. I wasn't hacked or anything. I wanted to get rid of them. It's something I've been debating on doing for so long, for years, to be honest, years. For years. Let's see. Let me quickly get this. There we go. Quickly just looking up something here. There we go. Okay. I'm gonna save that. There we go. Alrighty. My goodness. Whoa, what's this? Oh. I got a ping from a server, and I was like, whoa, why wouldn't that get there? Okay. Gracious day. We've gotten a lot of new subscribers on this live stream. This is just a briefing. This is just a briefing, y'all. Thank you for subscribing. Like 20 people subscribed on this live stream already. I only got to shout out one of you guys because in order for me to see the pop-up and know who subscribed, you have to have your subscriptions visible to all. 97 people in here. Holy cow. Thank you guys for tuning in on this briefing, just talking about severe weather. We're getting very much up there as a community. I told Lucky that the other day. I was like, dude, we're we're actually starting to make an impact on the community. I don't know if I've made any impact on y'all's lives at all. I hope that I've helped y'all be aware and helped y'all a bit. I know, but on my phone they say live when they're not. Oh, the notifications. Yes. Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about because I've gotten it on mine. And I'm like, wait a second, like 3 days late. 3 days late. It says I'm live. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, really? You're telling me I'm live from my living room? Really? So I'm not sure exactly why YouTube does that. So that's YouTube's fault. I try my best to make it obvious when I'm live and when I'm not live on the titles and how I word things. And the date too. The date too, which is a correct date, and the time. So you can always figure out, like right now it's 6:50. So that's 22:50 UTC on the East Coast here, 6:50. UTC and Zulu time's the same. So I try to have the time, the date, and then my live streams are differently worded as well. To just try and help y'all to know when it's live and when it's not. I didn't even mean to pull that over. I meant to switch the scene here. Yes, there is severes up in, well, I thought Ontario. Ethan told me one was in Ontario, but there's actually some up here. Oh, this place looks familiar. We tracked an EF4 a very long time ago up here in Canada. That's just a normal severe warning, though. But there was a photogenic massive EF4 that happened up in this area in Canada, near where that severe is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, maybe not Alberta. It was one of these two territories. I don't know exactly which one. I don't know if, I don't know, Ethan, if you're here. Ethan would definitely be able to know. Yeah, I tracked the one in freaking 1987, Pez, yeah. Let me see. Yeah, Alberta. Okay, it was more to the west. This one, this area here. I just recognize the general area. Yeah, see, we tracked the EF4 through this general area here. I don't know exactly how long tracked it was at all. Let me look at the path here. Yes, it was July 1st. I don't know if they have a path on it. Yeah, so it was up here. It was like through this whole area here. Where's Highway 2? Because that's where it lifted. Oh, so it was through here. That's where we tracked it. Somewhere generally right there. I don't want to show you guys the survey just because I don't know if I can. I don't know if that stuff's copyrighted in Environmental of Canada. Because I always have the rights to show you guys the damage assessment toolkit. But I always love to shout out the National Weather Service when I look at the damage indicators and go to a specific area because, you know, they do a great job. Which, by the way, Norman issued. Pez sent me the tweet, and I actually saw it before Pez added me in it. But once Pez added me in it, I saw it. Or I liked it. I forgot what it was. It was like the most tornado warnings and most severe warnings in something. Actually, this might not have been what Pez added me in. But the daily record number of tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings was broken on Saturday. 62 tornado warnings were issued on Saturday, the old one being 47 back on May 30th, 1999. And the severe warnings were broken, 89 being issued Saturday, old one being 68, which was on 4/21/96. So, though Norman broke their record for the most warnings issued, which is crazy. And that's freaking Norman, Oklahoma. Norman, Oklahoma. Norman, Oklahoma. But don't worry, Tornado Alley's shifting. It's you know, it's dying out. We don't get tornadoes in traditional Tornado Alley. Norman just randomly broke their record from an imaginary outbreak or something. There's a lot of people who actually do that. Like, there's a lot of people who think that tornadoes just don't occur where they used to. And it's just sometimes they're not like these big outbreaks like Dixie Alley for like 2020, 2021, 2022, and even 2023. But more specifically, 2021 and 2022 was massive. And even into March 2023 too, was massive for Dixie Alley. Massive. So people forgot more about they forgot more of the traditional Tornado Alley, and they were like, yeah, it's shifting, but you forget there's multiple alleys. Like, I forgot what this one's called, but we have like a Tornado Alley up here. We got the Carolina Alley over here. We have the traditional Plains Alley out here, the Dixie Alley out here. I think those are our main alleys. So there's multiple Tornado Alleys. It's not like there's just one Tornado Alley where we see most of the tornadoes, and that's very evident. If I show you guys Tornado Archive, here's where all of our tornadoes have occurred in the U.S. For I have no idea how long. This might be through like I think this is ever since we started recording tornadoes here. This is how many tornadoes we've seen, and you can see you've got your traditional alleys out here, Dixie Alley over here, Carolina Alley over here, Midwest, your whatever that one's called out here as well, something like that. But general, I mean, like I said, really everywhere, all over here. This whole area sees tornadoes right in here. It's just we have the Appalachians that separate that alley over here to the Carolina Alley. But there you go. And you can see your EF5s and F5 tornadoes too. Those colors right there. Those kind of purple red ones there. Saw someone with a question. Something about damage. Can you simplify what the tornado probability legend? Okay, so you're probably talking about like the tornado outlook, which I haven't showed that in a while. I know we have a few more people in here. So this is what we'll be covering tomorrow. We've got a slight risk for severe weather. So this is the outlooks, and I understand why you get confused because they are confusing for sure if this is what you're talking about. So here's the 5%, right? You've got this brown 5% area. So every 25 miles, choose anywhere. For instance, say you live in, I don't know, Topeka, Kansas, right? And this is for tomorrow's outlook. So there's a 25-mile radius. So every 25 miles of a given point, you have a 5% chance for a tornado. So this blue circle has a 5%. Now you get the idea of how big of a chance for tornadoes we have tomorrow. Because we have a 5% in that radius there. So that means in this radius, there's a 5%. Down here, there's a 5% too, 5%, 5%, 5%, all throughout this whole 5%. So there's a very high chance we see at least one tornado tomorrow. And then tomorrow, eventually, they're going to issue a tornado watch. For instance, say they just issue a tornado watch out here. I don't know where they're going to issue it, of course, but say they issue one out here. And that tornado watch will say, I don't know, a few tornadoes likely. And you look at the watch probabilities and it says, it could say high 70% chance for tornadoes. That's for the whole watch area. So when the watch is issued, the tornado probabilities is for the whole watch. When the outlook is issued, it's that probability every 25 miles of a given point. Which is confusing, but it's used to narrow it down because we can start widespread with like a day 4, or actually a day 8, 15% chance for severe weather, and then that goes to like a day 4, 30%, and then we could get even closer with like a day 3 moderate, day 2 moderate, still day 1 high risk, then they could do the probabilities on that, then the watch areas on that, then the warning, so it narrows it down more and more and more, so that way you know who has the best chance of a severe weather threat. So there's multiple layers, but it's to help predictability issues there, and just so that way you know where the highest threat is. But it can get extremely, extremely, extremely confusing. Extremely confusing. I get confused on it all the time. All the time. What in the heck? What? I don't trust that. Thank you for subscribing, Troy. For the reminder, if y'all haven't already, hit that subscribe button with the notification bell set to all, because we'll be live again tomorrow. Stream will probably start about 4 p.m. is what I'm looking at for tomorrow, Eastern time. I gotta look at this model run. Someone just sent me a model run, and it's like pure insanity. But I have to use a different site, so unfortunately I can't show y'all. Let's see, what product should I use to determine this severe threat? I guess we'll use the... man, let me look at another website. Let me see if this weather website has that model run better, and if it does, then I can show you guys it. Oh, it has it much better. Holy crap. Okay, let's show y'all this. There's a European model provided by weathernerds.org. And let me show y'all this. I can show you guys this. So this is a different model. This is European here. I didn't get a chance to look at this exact one. They sent me the frame like just after in near 150. I want to see how much this explodes. Gracious. 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 Holy. That's wild. That's wild. Let's look at the winds on that. Honestly, not nearly as impressive as I thought in the mid-levels. Not even close to as impressive as I thought. I bet lower-level jets cranking. Yep. It cranks. Sure cranks. But the mid-levels, again, mid-levels just aren't cranking. Could we look at the mid-level wind shear? This will have to do. Yeah, let's look at this one. Yeah, I mean, that still cranks. I wish I had, like, just the 3-kilometer wind shear and nothing else. That would be great, but instead we got, like, the 10 to 6,000 meter. This one is okay, but this is, yeah, that's a lower level. That ain't gonna be able to show me what I want to see. Look at that. And again, we could compare this to the GFS, and you'll see how big of a difference that is on the GFS, and then the new GFS as well. Ooh, whoa, that's a lot of agreement. Hold on. What day is this for? Tuesday night. Ooh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I don't like that at all. Those models actually agree relatively nice there. Dallas, thanks for subscribing. On that particular one, yes. On this model run, for sure. But that it is just a model run, so it could change, and we're pretty far out. But that is a big trend. How confident is the ensemble on that? Because I know we're getting the ensemble in here. Hello. College Due page, please stop glitching on me. Let's see, May 7th. Very confident. Oh, wow. Yeah, May 7th. May 6th into the morning of May 7th. That looks big. That looks big. Like, that looks pretty big. Can I look at the wind barbs here? Is there a way to look at wind barbs with this model run? Sometimes the maximum cape has that. I don't use this site too much. Let's see. This site has so much more to it. If it was like a cleaner overlay, this would be my main site for sure. The wind shear might have the wind barbs. No. One of the best things about this site is you can zoom in. So watch this. This is gonna, for weather enthusiasts, this is gonna make you crazy. You are gonna love this. So you can actually go very mesoscale. Like, watch this. So, you know how other sites, there's like, okay, you have a sector over here that you can view, a sector up here you can view, a sector over here you can view. With this one, you just click and hold, and you just zoom in wherever you want. Oh, that even shows the wind barbs actually. So that's like, this is crazy. That's why I wish it was higher resolution and a bit cleaner sight, because this would be just glorious to use. But like, they don't have a slider, so you have to like individually load every last frame, and it's like, gracious day, you'll sit here forever just loading, loading, loading. And you can also get, the soundings aren't the best, but you can get a sounding. So let's just pick one like right here. Now, I'm not used to these soundings, so I'm probably going to be trash at reading it, but we're going to see if I can read it. So right off the bat, that looks crazy. Wow. Like, right off the bat, that is a really good sounding. Again, with the drier levels, though, the dry air starts too soon, typically. So typically, when you have that notch of dry air, you want that to form above the 750 to 700 line. So right here is when you want that notch to form. So you'd want the temperatures, the dew points rather, to go like this, and then start to do that dry slot, and then can move up, because that might inhibit some a bit of storm development. That would probably inhibit some storm development. And you can see the capping looks relatively in place here in the surface too, especially right at the immediate surface. And actually, yeah, I didn't even realize that. Yeah, you can see that it's 166 there. So that would probably hurt storm development. Storms would try to form and probably not even be able to even bubble up at all. They'd just be completely flattened and not be able to form there. But everything other than the capping and that dry air aloft, and really dry air towards the lower levels there, other than that, which is two crucial factors there, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty good, other than that. So there's multiple rounds for severe weather. We've got today, tomorrow. Those are the two main rounds that we know so far. But then there's probably going to be another big round on probably Sunday night, and then Monday again, a week from today, and then maybe even Tuesday possibly. But that starts to go too far out. But possibly Tuesday, and past then there's a lot of uncertainty, but it does look like a big severe threat afterward. But it's just so far out that it's going to change frequently. I mean, you just saw, ooh, that's a severe. You just saw the last GFS model run, which moved the severe threat from the Tennessee Valley all the way to like the northern Midwest. We just got a severe out here. This is out here north of New Boston, Texas. So this is in southwestern Arkansas, southeastern Oklahoma. 1-inch hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds, and we're not expecting severe weather today. There was a brief risk for isolated severe storms up here, but nothing happened. There was a brief risk here, but nothing happened as well. Small risks, I should say. This is on the border of a general thunderstorm risk and nothing, which shows you we were not expecting that at all. Now, I haven't looked, but this should be a bit more of a substantial threat for isolated strong storms, and it is. We should see some isolated strong to severe storms kick off out here pretty soon. Is there one firing now? Yeah, there's already some firing, and these should be able to grow upscale over the next 2 hours and become strong to severe. Let's see here. They live close to Marshall, Texas. Yeah, so that's eastern Texas. That area was slammed by severe weather that we were covering yesterday. Brief spin-up tornadic activity, as well as damaging winds and some isolated small hail, and probably quite considerable flooding, I imagine, as well. That area was impacted quite a lot. It's going to change a lot, Marcus. I'm sure you know that. So I was just pulling it to see what the site was saying, and you know what the model run was saying as well. Oh, this has ensembles too. Oh yeah, y'all keep an eye out. Hurricane season. hurricane season is right around the corner. It's going to sneak up fast. It is going to sneak up very, very, very fast. Me and Lucky are saying it. One model run, you're going to see nothing. The next, boom, Cat 5 in the Gulf, 384 hours out from the GFS model. It's going to sneak up on you fast. And it's going to surprise you. Because, I mean, some long-range ensemble models already shows hurricane development potential in late May. But, you know, that's very far out, so it's going to change. But just a heads up, hurricane season's going to sneak around and sneak in fast. Let's see here. So, yeah, like I said, y'all, we're going to be live tomorrow as well. We're still going to stay live here for a bit longer. So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel with the notification bell set to all so you know when I go live or upload a video, which I just uploaded a video today. After the stream, you can go watch that. It basically discusses everything we discussed about in this live stream. But in a faster matter. I believe that video is just shy of 9.5 minutes long. Yeah, 9 minutes, 25 seconds long. So, yeah. Also, I was wanting to know, so the video, I do a different video style now for my thumbnails, and I want to know which one you guys like better. And if you want me to transition that into the live streams too. So, this is my video style thumbnail, just for the people who are in the stream. I don't want to do a community post on it right now. Maybe I'll do it later. But we have this style that we use for the videos now. You can see I used to use this style here. So the color is yellow, orange, red, and then pink. Of course, pink being, you know, where we're anticipating the severe weather threat. And then the live streams, we use what you've clicked on the stream for now, the purple, blue, and the red. The red is where we're already anticipating severe weather. So which one do you guys like better? Should we start implementing the colors from the videos into the live streams too? Because I've kind of kept them separate. I've kept them separate so that way you'll be able to tell the two difference and different apart from videos and live streams. What the heck is that model doing? I gotta go see this model. Shows like supercells all over the place. Where is it? This one. Right here. Let me see this. I need to see this for myself. Okay, well, that's expected. I'm not surprised by that. And then Wednesday goes ham for some reason. Now, why does this model show Wednesday going crazy? The mid-levels just aren't favorable for tornadoes on Wednesday. I'm very curious to see what's going to happen. I'm very curious to see which one is going to happen. Yeah, I'm going to keep the videos the same. I'm just wondering if I should change the stream thumbnails to the video thumbnails. But I try to make it very distinct so you can tell what videos, what are videos, what are live streams as well. Now, as for older videos, I don't really have a way to show that it's an older video as I'm recording it, but you know, once I record a video, typically I say like, you know, what the threat's for, April or something. But like on these live streams, you know, I have the date above my head, the time here, as well as you know, the red dot indicating we're live, which again, that changes up. Last night I should say, that was we had a red dot with urgent on it because we got a random PDS warning. We streamed that for just 30 minutes. That was a confirmed tornado as well. They'll be surveying that. The National Weather Service is working their tail off on surveys. And they've, I mean, they're trying to get it done as fast as they can because most of the same areas that saw severe weather on the 26th, and even some of the same areas on the 27th are going to see severe weather tomorrow as well as May 1st. So they're doing a really good job. And I mean, the fact that we're seeing surveys just 2 days after that big threat is crazy. So they're working their tails off, and they're getting them out fast, and they're doing a great job. From yesterday, so far, like officially surveyed, one has been surveyed right now, but we stand at 9 tornado reports, which is just one over the tornado outbreak criteria. For Texas, I know we had at least one wedge tornado in Texas. Five of those tornado reports are in Texas, and only one tornado has been surveyed from yesterday, which is the one northeast of Huntsville, Texas. That's the ones that I know so far. And I can check again just in case they updated it already. Yeah, northeast of Huntsville. And they haven't. Oh, they also did one southwest of Springfield, Missouri, too. Both of those being EF 0 winds. Yeah, EF 0 tornadoes. EF 0 tornadoes. Missouri EF 0, but the Texas one was EF 1. Man, do you think the tornado outbreak will mainly be north of Omaha, Nebraska for tomorrow? If we manage to see one, you said north of Omaha? No. Well, that's tricky, actually. You're in the threat. It depends on where storms fire, but models are pretty confident in storms firing to your north and possibly to your west. So it depends. You can see that this one fires them up towards just to your north here. But some other models fire storms for Omaha as well. It's going to be a very close call for Omaha. We'll either see storms or they'll stay far away from Omaha. But Omaha is in the risk, so I would anticipate severe weather being possible. So again, make sure you guys have hit that like button and share the stream with your family, friends, social media, and have subscribed to the channel with the notification bell set to all. That way you know when I go live or upload a video. The whole point of these briefings is to reach as many people as we can with the word of severe weather before it happens. And then once we go into the severe streams and the coverage streams, we still want to reach as many people as we can, but we're more focused on just relaying that information to the people who are in the stream. Let's see here. So we'll keep an eye on it. Let's see here. So we'll keep an eye on it. Tomorrow, right now, looks like the biggest threat. I don't even think I've mentioned the SPC wording to you guys just yet. So for Wednesday, this is for Wednesday here. We mentioned it in the video, but not here. This is including the potential for a strong tornado. So that is something. So we're going to keep a very, very close eye on that, including the potential for a strong tornado. And like I said, I think the most likelihood of that would be right up in this area here, where that winds, the mid-level wind should be the greatest. That's my personal opinion. We'll see what the SPC thinks when they update it tomorrow and release their probability graphic. But Wednesday's threat is going to be one of those threats where it's will we see storms fire, or is the capping going to be able to just destroy the threat? So right now the capping looks like the biggest issue, as well as the mid-level, which I could pull a sounding for y'all on that, just so I could show you guys what I'm talking about here. So this sounding is going to be in just to the west of Woodward, Oklahoma here. We'll switch on over to that. Just a white screen right now. We'll wait for it to load. We shall wait for that to load. This is, again, going to be not able to generate, huh? Interesting. Okay, well, fine. We'll pull, like, 6 soundings out here, then. How about that? One of them ought to load, right? One of them. Don't want to load for me. And matter of fact, we'll switch to the NAM model, too. The lower resolution NAM model. We'll pull some out in the same area. Did it load? Ah, man. College DuPage is having a difficulty with soundings. Hold on. Let's see if we can get one from the normal NAM model. If these don't load, we'll, okay, they did load. So here is, jeez. That is a loaded gun sounding right there. Jeez. That is for, again, Wednesday, out in Oklahoma. This is the one in Kansas. That is a loaded gun sounding. Wow. The capping's not that strong, and you don't have that drier air intrusion. Wow. How are the mid-levels so strong in wind speeds? How is that possible? Like, look, this says... Oh, well, I guess that's really all you need. But typically, I look for, like, a bunch. Like, I look for, like, 80 plus. Or 60 plus, rather, in the mid-levels. 60 plus. And out here, I mean... How's it that much? So I pulled that sounding... Let's see. I pulled it, like, right here. Right? I think I pulled it, like, right here. I mean, your shear's lacking. Oh, okay. So this one... Oh, okay. That makes more sense. Hold on. Let's pull that again. So, yeah, your capping down here is very high, like I thought. So that sounding was actually for more north right here. So, yeah. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. This I thought I pulled this near Woodward, and I was like, yeah, I'm very much doubting that, but now it makes more sense because that's where I was talking about the strong tornado potential up there in central Kansas. Wow. I mean, that is a loaded gun sounding and a half. If you're a weather enthusiast, you know exactly that is a loaded gun sounding right there. And actually, I'll explain to you guys why it is. So, oh, first off, hold on. Let's just get rid of that. There we go, there we go, there we go. Now you can't see that. So here you see the photograph. Basically, imagine this as a storm, right? So if a storm fires and it gets going in about an hour, it's going to look, or possibly later, it could look like that photograph. So imagine a storm, like the structure of it looks like this. And you know, you have your rain all around it. So drawing that more larger, it would look like this here. And it would most likely have a hook like that and then move right back on up like so. That's the type of sounding that we see here. You can see that sounding has curvature with it, and if the storm were to fire, it would have that curvature with it. So that's exactly what we look for. That is a classic photograph for tornadoes. The dew points are perfectly fine. They are perfectly fine there. You don't have any issue in the lower mid levels, and then in the mid levels, actually, you do have that dry air. Geez, I forgot what you call it. I forgot exactly what the technical term is for it. But yeah, that would help. That would help storms intensify. Actually, now if that was like say here. If that notch was down in the 750, 800 millibar range, it would hurt storms firing. But because it's near and just barely above, or rather below that 500 millibar range, it's actually going to help storms. Dry lot, thank you. That dry lot, it's going to help storms intensify. But one thing that is notable here is the temperature dew point spread. So what that means is that storms aren't going to be as surface based. They're probably going to be a bit more on the elevated side of things. So as opposed to like the base of the storm, so say that this is the ground, as opposed to a storm being like just barely above the ground, that would be a surface based one. It would probably, the cloud tops are going to be a little bit higher than that. So it may result in an elevated storm threat being more of a hail wind threat and isolated tornado threat. But if it were surface based, closer to the surface, then it would be easier for tornadoes to form. So just because it's elevated doesn't mean that tornadoes are off the table. It just means that it would take a lot more work for a storm to produce a tornado. Then this is what you have. These are wind barbs. These are wind barbs. Each one of those barbs is 10 knots of winds as you go up in the surface. And this is perfection veering here. So what this means is that as a storm forms and as it grows upscale, the winds are going to be turning with height, allowing for a rotation to develop. And with that classic photograph, you're going to have a storm like I drew before, which let me see if I can get that drawing back up so I don't have to redraw it all. So you're going to have a storm like this. It's not going to draw again. Okay, well, anyways, I'll just draw it again. You're going to have a storm like that. And those wind barbs are going to help rotate that storm because your winds are going to be turning with height. So they're going to be going from both directions with height, rotating throughout that supercell, which is also evident in this graphic here. You can see that winds would be turning both away and into a storm with height as well. And you've got a lot of cap, or rather a lot of cape. So if a storm does try to get going, it has a lot of energy to work with. It has a lot of food. That is like a Thanksgiving buffet worth of food right there. Nearly 4,000 instability is a ton of instability there. And you can even see that. Thank you for subscribing. Word of Truth, much appreciated. And again, you can see that here as well with your temperature spread here. I don't know exactly which one. I haven't really learned that just yet. I think it's the difference between this blue here and the temperature here. That is your instability region on the skew 2 chart. I can't pronounce that. I've forgotten, to be honest. And then here's all your analogs too. So this is this sounding looks similar to storms that have occurred on these particular dates. So you've got like May 30th, 2001, April 22nd, 1999, June 13th, 2004. Skew-T, thank you. It's been a while since I've said the the actual name of this thing here. Not only that, it's taking a toll on me streaming daily. And you also have lapse rates too. I mean, you have great amount of lapse rates. Your mid levels aren't extremely high, but they're high enough to promote probably a near destructive hail threat, near 3-inch hail. So definitely high enough there. And your wind shear, your lower levels are on the lower side. I typically like to see that shear at 25 knots or greater, but the helicity is 150 or greater. So I like to see 150 greater in that and 25 knots or greater in that for favorability of tornadic development. Thank you for subscribing, Truth Teller. Much appreciated. So that's really your basic rundown of that. Basically, big-time supercell development. That's really what I see with this. But this is just one model run. However, the HRRR does show a similar scenario to that, but just a bit more north. The NAM3K actually does show a similar scenario to that, except for very far south and possibly capped out too. Let's take a sounding right here, and then we'll take one just to the east right here. So there's still uncertainty on the exact placement of that. Jeez, Adam, thank you for subscribing. A lot of people subscribing. Glad to have you guys subscribing to the channel. Friendly reminder, make sure you hit that subscribe button as well. It's greatly, greatly appreciated. So here are some of the soundings. This one is none because of the capping. So right off the bat, a storm's going to form. So let's just pretend like this is where a storm forms, right? Just forming, and the cap, it hits the cap, and it's just gone. Storm's done. Storm's done. And you can see that very strong capping in place. Because your dew points go rapidly this way, your temperatures go rapidly this way, and that is a sign of a strong capping in place, so most likely storms would not form in that environment. And I think this is the one in Woodward, and I forgot this isn't, the NAM3K is not generating soundings here, so what we're going to do is we're going to move back to weathernerds.org. And we're going to take a sounding out here with the NAM3K model on this one. So we can go to the mesoscale, NAM3K. We're going to go out, let's see here, how far do we got to go? 54 frames out, so let's just go here. 54 frames out. Let's zoom in here. The NAM3K doesn't have it has every 3 hours on this model, on this site rather. Whereas on College Dew Page and Pivotal, it has it every 1 hour. So a bit lower resolution on this site actually for the NAM3K. But still is going to get the job done for the sounding that I want. Which is, jeez. I want to pick one right here. That is an absurd amount of cape. Yeah, let's pick one. We're going to pick 3. We're going to do 3. Oh, sorry, Dallas. I'm not trying to ignore you. It's just I was very busy looking at that. So so Texas, this area shouldn't be in the threat tomorrow. Yeah, you're not in the threat tomorrow or Tuesday, or rather Wednesday. So you're clear from severe weather, at least from those 2 days. As for the other days, I'm unsure. I'm unsure. You're most likely going to get introduced to some threat of severe weather in the future eventually. Exactly when, I don't know. But you'll most likely get in on some severe threat later down the line. But your severe days won't be tomorrow and Tuesday. But there's going to be multiple other chances there. All right, so right off the bat, this is a trash sounding. Right off the bat. So the mid-level is very capped. So what storms are going to do is they're going to form in the surface. They're going to grow upscale. Oh, look, it's a thunder. Just kidding. Just kidding. It gets completely destroyed in the mid-level. So that would be completely capped out. So even though your surface-based sin isn't that high, so storms would still most likely be able to grow upscale somewhat, the mid-level is capped enough to where it's just going to die. Storms would just die out. I don't actually know how to get off of the sound. Oh, you just click zoom out. Okay. Alright, so that was capped out, which I think I got that from up here. So let's get one, like, right. Let's completely cherry pick this right on the dry line. Right here. Completely cherry picked sounding. Mid-level capping, once again. So you can see, as well as towards the surface, too. The drier air there. Storms are going to try to fire, and they're really going to struggle as they get into that environment and may not even be able to grow upscale. But then as they get towards that more moist environment, the capping builds in just after that. So, boom, gone. Not going to be able to grow any more upscale than that. So you've got two issues on this sounding here right off the bat. Not to mention, let's see here. Got any other issues? Not really. Those are your two main issues, and those are big issues. All right, let me see where else I could pull a sounding that might not be completely obliterated, capped out. Let's pull one up here. Yeah, let's pull one up here. Yeah, like right there. Yeah, let's do it right there. Let's see here. So that mid-level capping is still present. You can still see the notch there. It's still present capping, so storms would be able to grow quite upscale here. But then they'll probably, if they break through that, they'll be clear to grow and clear to be able to do to attempt to produce all hazards. But that's if they get through that mid-level capping. So there's a high chance they would just be absolutely destroyed there as well. Thank you for subscribing, TV. Much appreciated. And that's why this model run here, if we switch back to this, you'll see this model run doesn't initiate, but like just a few storms that last like 1, maybe even 2 hours there. And that's it. And that is it. And then they die out. But this is just a model run, so there's a chance, you know, once we go into Wednesday, that storms are able to grow way more upscale than what we're currently forecasting. But that looks to be a big issue, is the capping, which again, that was the issue on like April 18th, somewhere around that date, as well as definitely on April 25th. That was a big issue as well. But for tomorrow, which I think tomorrow has a much better shot at being the potential for a tornado outbreak, and I'll show you that right here. If we just we'll take two soundings. So we'll take one up here in Iowa, and then we'll take one out here in Kansas. We'll actually take one out here towards extreme south central Kansas as well. Let's see. Dang. Alright, hold on. I want to retake that sounding just a bit more to the west. So right off the bat, this one is out here towards northeastern Kansas. That's not the sharpest amount of dry air in the closer to the surface. That should be good enough for storm development. Um, the analogs are off the charts. Like legit off the chart. Like literally off the chart for supercell development. That's crazy. Wow. That is crazy. That is off the chart. Let me just investigate this more. The only issue I see is the lower level shear. See how we don't have that ridiculous varying on one of the other, I was going to say photograph, one of the other, soundings we got, the varying was like this with height. In this one, it's more like this. So it's less as intense in the lower levels. And you can see why. So like I said, in the lower levels for tornadic development, typically you look for 150 plus in helicity. And for the knots, you look for 25 plus right here for both of these. Which that says 99 and 15, which is probably still favorable for tornadoes, but that wouldn't be favorable enough for significant tornadoes. And then here's the one. Thank you for subscribing, Olive. Much appreciated. This is the one in South Central Kansas. Same ordeal. But also in the mid levels a bit that looks like just a lot of wind shear issues, but also that is a big issue. Drier air there, so that would probably inhibit storms from really growing to upscale. They'll probably try to grow upscale and then get choked off from that lack of a moist environment. Yeah. I don't think this one needs to be explained much. Just yeah. That's where your really good environment is. Like I said in Iowa. So yeah, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel with the post notification bell set to all, and hit that like button for more weather content, and share the channel and the stream with your family, friends, and on social media. Let's see. Give me just a moment. Okay. So just in case I need to explain this, which we've been explaining them for a while, I'll explain it now. That way y'all can see it. Ridiculous photograph. Let me just, I want to make sure that's completely gone, so that way it doesn't freak anybody out. We never listened to the possible, the potential hazard type there. But ridiculous photograph. Classic. It's just, wow. I mean, just really solid sounding. It might be a bit contaminated, so there might be a storm ongoing where we've taken this sounding in north central Iowa. But I mean, look, the veering is so strong. Bro goes the other way. Bro goes the other way with the wind speeds. Look at that. Like your veering literally starts. Hold on, I gotta cover that back up. Your veering literally goes the other way is how it begins, and then it slowly starts to turn with height. That is how crazy your veering is right there. Just ridiculous wind shear. It is a bit on the lower side on the lower level wind shear, but that is completely favorable for significant tornadoes. Completely favorable for it. And if we had a discrete storm mode here, probably even long track strong tornado potential. And that's gonna set up anywhere in this region here in Iowa, which is why I think we are talking about a tornado outbreak possible tomorrow. We'll see if the SPC upgrades their risk region to a 10 hatched or not. David, thanks for subscribing. The lapse rates are perfectly fine. They're not anything too over the top. 7.5, 7.6, 7.1, 7.5, 7.7. That is all perfectly favorable for significant severe weather, including very large hail near 3-inch in diameter, 75 near 80-mile-an-hour winds, as well as, like I said, multiple tornadoes, maybe even a strong potential one, possibly long-tracked. Definitely strong tornado potential. I don't know completely about the long-tracked portion, but definitely the strong tornado potential. But this is just one model run. This is just one model run, so we want to take it with a grain of salt. But it is for tomorrow, which is why that's why I'm saying it's probably going to be tornado outbreak potential. There's really nothing wrong with this sound. Like, I don't see anything wrong with this sound. Like, this is a perfect tornado ongoing sounding. If this exact environment were to occur at this time frame in Iowa, this would most likely be a tornado on the ground. Or very close to developing. But the chance of that is next to none for it to be this exact environment. Typically, something ends up going wrong in the environment where we have some sort of bust mode or underperforming mode. As something. But we'll see. But I would not be surprised at all if we wake up to a 10 sig tor tomorrow in Iowa. At all. But there's uncertainty. Like, the RAP model has it a bit more off to the southwest. The NAM model has it, where it has it in northwestern Iowa. The NAM 3K has it towards Omaha. The HRRR has it towards in between all that. The GFS is trash. It's not a cam model, so it's not going to pick up as good on that stuff. So that's not something that we'll use for that. So generally, yeah, you're looking out here. You're looking generally out in this area, with the most likelihood being, like I said, northwestern Iowa into a small portion of eastern Nebraska. Really good potential, regardless. Really good potential. But it's also going to determine off of the storm mode too. So let's see how this model run initiates it. Yeah, not good. So that would be discrete to semi-discrete storms for 2 to 4 hours of significant tornado potential. The HRRR is closely to the same with that, with 2 semi-discrete supercells forming and probably having the potential for significant tornadoes for, again, 2 to 4 hours as well. So that's pretty good agreement there. I'll look on another monitor. Which, actually, I can show you guys this one. I didn't realize this site had this model here. What the heck? Okay, let's zoom out. I don't know why the heck we're in central Kansas there. Let's take a look here at the simulated reflectivity, and I want to see... just ignore that line of supercells for Wednesday on that model run. We'll just ignore that for now. Let's go back over here to this frame. So let's see how this initiates storms tomorrow. Right there. Oh, some cells developing. Let's see if these are full-blown supercells right now. Messy. That's pretty messy. So most likely you'd have a solid hour or two of strong tornado potential, but not the 2 to 4 that the HRRR and the NAM model show. So there is still some model discrepancy in that. I'm not completely confident in that that strong tornado potential, but it's going to be present. Most likely going to be present, but I'm unsure. There, see here. I quickly check this. So we'll watch it. We'll watch the threat for sure. Now let's go see what the heck this model run does for freaking Kansas and Texas and out here. Let's make this a little bit better. Let's zoom this in. That's good enough. That's a good enough zoom in. Now let's see why this model run initiates just rapid supercell development Wednesday night. We should see it blow up. Wow, right off the bat. Not even waiting until 5 p.m. Probably supercells near 3 p.m. And, I mean, it just explodes them. Bit of a clustery mode, but, I mean, it just explodes them. The capping must not hold or something. Yeah, look at that. There's no capping. Or there's no to very weak capping there. You're looking at like negative 25 cap, which is not a lot. And then by the night hours, you have an uncapped environment where those storms are ongoing. Which, if we compare that to, say, I don't know, the NAM 12K here, a fully capped environment, strong capping along that dry line. The other NAM model, the NAM 3K, again, fully capped environment along that dry line. The HRRR here, fully capped environment along that dry line. So I'm not very confident in a line of supercells like that model shows. I don't know why that shows a crazy outbreak. But we'll see. I mean, yeah, like the NAM 3K barely even initiates storms. Like I said, it initiates a few storms out here towards Oklahoma, Kansas border, but those die off very fast. So I don't really know what that model runs on. I wouldn't be trusting that. That is what we call an outlier. So we're not going to be we're not going to take that one seriously. Let me update this to the 18Z here. So again, you can see those supercells fire here, right? Should fire in one frame. Yep, there you go. Those supercells initiating. Let me zoom out a little bit, and we're going to just go a little bit further south like this so we can see it a bit better. So yeah, there's those supercells firing in Iowa, and even some out there in Kansas. And then by sunset here, about 7 o'clock Eastern, this would be a pretty day out there Central, 6 p.m. Those storms are very well ongoing, but by that time, most of those storms should be hail cores and not so much with the tornado potential per se. Okay, thanks for subscribing, much appreciated. And then by the nocturnal hours, you can see these storms continue to explode here according to this model run. And then they go very linear, which means line. By the time you go till 9, 10 o'clock. And then they should be wind, hail, brief tornado potential. So the maximized tornado potential I see tomorrow by a milestone and a half is between, depending on windstorms fire, but most likely 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. is when I see the biggest tornado threat, where we could have that strong tornado potential tomorrow. Which again, here's an outlook at the official SPC. And like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if we see a 10 sig get introduced somewhere up here. Or, I mean, geez, for all I know, they could introduce a large 10 sig all the way like this. Because there's pretty good significant tornado potential. It's just we're unsure exactly where that significant environment will set up. It should set up somewhere out here. Somewhere out here. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I have way too many tabs open. Gracious day. Hold on. Let me close some tabs. I've got over 30 open right now. Most are the exact same site. Let me just close all these here. Close, 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 close. And let me reopen Clutch Do page. Oh my goodness. Another like 20 over here. Oh my word, I had like probably 50 tabs open. Gracious day. Close your tabs here, G. Holy crap. Another one. There we go. Much better. Much better. Man. That's a lot of tabs. Let's see here. Alright. So we'll keep an eye on that threat, y'all. Well, it looks quite significant to me, to be honest. Oh my goodness. The struggle, this is a struggle. the Zulu time's a struggle. So here's the chart for you to memorize, if you'd like to memorize it. I'll put it in chat here momentarily, whenever it loads. We are in, we're in April, so that means we are in standard time, I believe. Let's see. Believe we're in standards time. Oh no, are we in daylight time? Are we in EST or EDT? What are we in? We're in daylight time. Okay. I get so confused. So we're EDT, not EST. or EDT. So that's here. Here's the link. So it would be the second chart. So they have the chart for standard time, and we are in daylight savings time. So 00Z is 8 p.m. Eastern. And there's all the different Zulu times for every different time zone here. Good luck. Good luck. Good luck memorizing. That's why I fuss every time we change to, like, you know, go forward an hour or go back an hour, because I have to rememorize which Zulu time's which. You just get used to it. You really get used to it. You get used to it. It's crazy. So, yeah. Like I said, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. I know most of y'all have, but we consistently get new people in here. So, if y'all haven't already, make sure you hit that like button. We're at 113 likes on the stream. Share the stream with your family, friends, social media. Subscribe if you're new, because we'll be live for multiple hours tomorrow. We're probably looking at a very long stream tomorrow. At the minimum, I'm looking at least 4 hours tomorrow. We're already beyond 2 hours in here on this live stream. And after I end this live stream, I would highly suggest and hope that you go and watch my recent video that I uploaded not too long ago. Let's see here. There we go. Refresh that page. Alrighty, we are refreshed. Good to go again. For Europe, no. I haven't done across the U.S. I do Canada sometimes. I do Canada barely. I also barely do. What other places do I do? It depends on the situation, but we have done Mexico before, and once or twice we tracked severe weather. I don't even know what country it is, to be honest. Whatever country this is, I feel like it's yeah, like I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to take a guess and then be dead wrong, but I feel like I know exactly what it is. I feel like I know exactly what it is. But we've tracked weather here because they have radar sites. Germany. See, I knew it. I just didn't want to say it. I knew it was Germany. I just didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it because I didn't want to look like an idiot. I didn't want to be dead wrong. Yeah, so we have tracked severe weather there as well. And we've also done a bit of the UK when we had a big low pressure make the landfall in the UK with like winds of like, it was ridiculous, well over 100. We did coverage on that too. So there's situations where we will go, you know, into another country. I've tracked Australia multiple times for cyclones, especially when there's you know, when there's not a lot of severe weather or tropical storms ongoing in the Pacific or the Atlantic. We've tracked and covered Australia before too. 2Z, so 2Z and Eastern is 10 o'clock, so Central would be 9. 2Z is 9 p.m. Central. Let's see here. CDT is 5 hours behind Zulu time. 5 hours behind Zulu time. Okay. Well, all right. I don't even know how to do that math. I don't even know how to do that math. I don't even know how to do that math. Yeah, like I said, I got rid of the most popular live stream because it was old too. So I just wanted to refresh the channel, and yeah, so that was the second most popular one. I really hope we can get at some point in the near future a stream with 20,000 views, which is very far-fetched. I don't even know how we're going to get that high up in view count ever. But maybe we'll get there someday. I mean, we're already so far up. I never thought this channel would be past 5 subscribers. Or any. I never thought anybody would subscribe to this channel. Who wants to watch a weather channel? But turns out a lot of people A lot of people prefer YouTube weather over the news weather, which I always recommend listening to your local meteorologist. But I understand when like there's coverage on YouTube, that's where you're gonna go most likely because your local news channel it sometimes isn't gonna cover it for 6 hours straight. Like we covered yesterday's, not yesterday, but the 27th threat for 15 hours straight. We were live. We were live for 15 hours straight. I took probably overall like a 10-minute break throughout that 15-hour stretch on the 27th. So not many meteorologists have done that. Um, straight coverage, like without interruptions. We don't do ads on our live streams. The only ads you get should be at the very beginning, like when you first click on the stream, and maybe when you leave and when we end, you're probably getting ads there too, but you should not be getting ads in the middle, and if you are, that is YouTube. I do not put those in there. I have it manually set, so you only get ads at the start, and then whenever I want them, which I never click the button, because it puts them at the end and the beginning. So you should not be getting ads. Let's see. Alrighty. So there's tomorrow's outlook once again. 5% chance for tornadoes. Wouldn't be shocked if this goes to an enhanced risk. 15 sig wind, 15 sig hail. Not too shocked with that outlook. And then day 3, again, I'm unsure if the cap's going to break at all. That's why this side of the slight risk is not that large, because we don't know if the cap's going to break. And then this one is larger because there's a bit higher confidence in thunderstorms forming at least somewhere out here. Depends on where that low pressure is. If it's more north, like say the low pressure's here, storms will fire up here. If it's where the NAM 3K says out there in the Oklahoma Panhandle, it will form up here. So wherever that low pressure tracks just to the northeast and on the northern side and barely east of the low pressure is where the cap will be the weakest, which will most likely be right out in front of the low pressure system, which is why that low pressure is, or rather the slight risk is much larger up here as compared to like towards Wichita and back out towards Texas and Oklahoma. And if there's more confidence in a cap breaking out here, they'll extend that slight further south. So we'll keep an eye on it. Let's see here. All right. What are we at? We're at 2 hours, 7 minutes in, so that's pretty far into the live stream. We're probably getting near the end. We've really done our briefing here. Typically, a briefing lasts 1 hour, so a bit longer than our normal briefings. But there was a lot of information to give out here. A whole lot more to dissect and to take a look at. And I didn't look at too much at these models because, like I said, this threat just kind of appeared out of nowhere. So it's not like I looked at the models for hours beforehand like I normally do. Which is why we went in depth and we looked at the soundings and we looked at the model differences and the consistencies and everything like that. Because I didn't really get a big time frame to do that. Let's see here. Alrighty. So we'll see. We'll see what happens over the next couple hours with these model runs. We're going to get new model run data in soon on the HRRR, as well as the NAM and the NAM 3K and the GFS. So there's going to be quite a few new model runs that come through. The biggest model runs are going to be tomorrow at 12Z, which should be somewhere around like 8, 9 a.m. or so, right around there. Those will be the most notable and important model runs. And, yeah, tonight we're still going to have the ones at 00Z. The ones at 00Z are going to determine whether or not the SPC upgrades tomorrow to a 10 sig or not, and whether or not they pull an enhanced risk trigger on the day 2 outlook for Wednesday. Not just you, Kevin. I look at it on like every site I know. It's very satisfying. It is not just you, I can tell you that. Let's see. I want to take a quick look at this. Definitely not that. I want to take a look at this website real quick. Let me go to model runs, HRRR. Where's the HRRR? There you go. And let's just do Cape. All right, let's see what this shows. Oh, apparently I can't see what it shows. Let me try to select that again. All right, I guess I'll never know. I guess I'll never know. Oh, actually, you know, let me do the precipitation type. Oh, there is that. Okay, that might make me buy this site. There's a special model run on this site that actually does 15-minute HRRR reflectivity, and that just might make me sold on this thing. The only issue is it's pricey. Very, very pricey. Very pricey. Let's see. So $2.99. Oops. 44. So that's it would 250 for the first year. That's not the worst. No, Weather Bell's 600. I would never consider getting that. No. This one's 250 a year, and that's not too bad. And it's not pivotal either. Pivotal is well, 250 for the first year, then 300 in a years after that. And pivotal is a 200 a year, which is $100 less. But you get a lot more with this site than pivotal, at least model run wise. You get a lot more. Like you get so much more. You get 1 hour European, 3 hour European, the full European, multiple ensembles. You get so much stuff with this. Like, you get more model runs than you've heard of. Like, I bet you've never heard of the ARPEGE model run before. Bet you haven't heard of that one. Let's see here. Tropical Tidbits. Thankfully, I don't have to pay for that. Tropical Tidbits is the best tropical site out there by a milestone. Weather Nerds is close because of the ensembles that it has available, but Tropical Tidbits has like the exact same thing, just probably a bit lower resolution. This site has all the experimentals and more. All the experimentals and more. I don't know if it has the I know Pivotal has the AI stuff, whatever the heck that is. I don't know if this site has the NSSL models. I don't see them on here. Yeah, I don't see the NSSL models on this site. But it does have 15-minute reflectivity, which that's wild. Like, that is I haven't seen that on any other site. But it's more pricey, so It's really, you've got to choose what you want on the software. Like, there's no website that offers everything, which is terrible. Like, Weatherbell only offers so much stuff, as well as Pivotal and everything else too. Can someone see it through his glasses? You probably could. All right, let's see. Oh, shoot! What the heck? Dang, brother. Bro's warned for 1.75-inch hail. Look at that. Solid hail core right there. That's a considerable severe thunderstorm warning. So, if you're in the Foreman area, southwestern Arkansas, seek shelter now as you've got a considerable storm approaching your area with 1.75-inch hail going out towards your region. Actually, I don't know if that's moving dead south or southeast. Kind of looks like southeast, kind of generally this direction here. So there you go. Yeah, southeast, yes. Kind of a mix of both. A little mix of both there. We've got some special weather statements out in like Kentucky and Tennessee, and we just got one issued in Mississippi for the what the heck? The Baldwin area, the Boonville. There's probably a special weather statement somewhere else. Yep. These storms are starting to pop off now out here in Texas. Those aren't expected to grow to upscale. An isolated severe storm can't be ruled out late today, but we're not expecting anything widespread out of that for today. All right, let's see. We're probably going to conclude our stream in 12 minutes. This briefing is really concluded. I know we have a lot of people watching, but there's not much more to talk about. Yeah, if it was coverage, we'd be continuing for sure, but there's not like anything that needs our attention right now. This random one does, but that's very isolated, severe, and I'm shocked we got that. But I gotta prepare for at least 4 hour live stream tomorrow. It's probably gonna end up being like 7 or 8 hours tomorrow. So I hope I'll see y'all there tomorrow. Hopefully you'll choose me for your coverage. I know a lot of people are gonna go live, and probably some very dominant YouTubers in the weather community are going to be going live. So, like I said, I don't care if I get 0 viewers or not. If there's severe weather and it's worth tracking, I'm going to track it. Because that's just, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. I actually know a few YouTubers who would end if they get beneath a certain amount of viewer count. I'm definitely not calling them out, but I've seen them. I've seen them end. I've seen them end. So hopefully y'all will go watch my video. I don't know if I can redirect y'all to my video. Let's see if I can redirect you guys to my video. Let's see. I don't think I can. Nah, it has to be a live stream. Dang it. Oh well. Well, like I said, we're gonna wrap up here in 13 minutes. I'll put the link to my video in the chat here, just in case y'all don't know how to get there. So if y'all want to go watch that, you can. It's about a 9.5 minute video, so not that long. It really supports the channel. You know, if you stay there and watch the whole 9.5 minute video, it will really help with the algorithm and push it out, because it increases the watch time on it, increases the view duration. And the more people that see the video, the more people that see this live stream, the more people that are weather aware for this severe threat, and that's the ultimate goal. That is the ultimate goal. Which I forgot to say, but thank you guys for the support on the channel. I probably said it once or twice, but thank you guys again for the support on the channel recently. The number that we've reached in the last like 4 days, so for the 26th, 27th, 28th, for severe weather coverage, so our 3 main severe weather coverage days, Let me go see how many people we reached. So we reached, that's a mind-blowing number. 3 days, we reached 20,000 people with the word of severe weather. I didn't know it was that much. Jeez. 20,000 people with the word of severe weather. And 130 of you guys are new to the channel just from that 3-day period. That is insane. Those numbers are crazy. Thank you guys for the support. It's always appreciated, greatly appreciated. So, yeah. Again, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're gonna be live again tomorrow. You already know that. We'll be live tomorrow. We'll be live for like the next. We're not stopping on daily live streams. We're not stopping on daily live streams. Coverage streams are expected to be 4+ hours this week, which those 2 coverage streams will be tomorrow, Wednesday, and then Thursday it depends. I don't know if we're going to see severe weather Thursday or Friday or Saturday or Sunday. Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday and Wednesday next week are the next optional severe coverage days, because I don't know if the models will change, just a matter of how much. So if they changed enough to the point where there's no severe weather expected, those will just be briefing days or possibly break days. But I would be pretty surprised if that big threat just poof gone for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday next week. Jeez. All of next week, like legit every day next week. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Actually, Saturday, it looks like it moves out to sea, but Saturday could still see isolated severe weather in southern Florida. And then another threat picks back up on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. What the heck? Yeah, that stuff's way too far out to, like, know specifics on, of course. But that's just going to the model run. A lot of those days are going to change. Some days are going to be, outbreak potential, and other days are going to be nothing. So, it's going to change. But yeah, that is going to be about it. Lucky's not live, so I can't send y'all over to him. He's debating on going live tonight. I don't think he will. I'll ask him real quick. See if he's going live tonight or not. But I wouldn't anticipate him going live. So here's our current subscriber count, which is 100 more than what we were at yesterday morning. So we try to do this at the end of our live streams, or at least at every 100 subscribers. He said I'm extremely exhausted, so he's not going to stream tonight. He needs a break too. He's gotten 12 hours of sleep in the last 2 days, so yeah. But thankfully I got good sleep yesterday, so I was refreshed this morning. But yeah, I mean, geez, look at that. So April 24th, we literally, like, we just hit 5K. Like, we just hit 5K, and we're already at this number here, which is pure insanity. Pure insanity. So if y'all haven't already, hit that subscribe button. The notification bell set to all too. Make sure you hit the notification bell to all. If you don't, you're not going to be notified when I go live. YouTube will, if you're subscribed, it will still recommend my streams and videos to you, but you won't be notified right when those things are uploaded, which we do something called urgent streams on here. As long as I'm awake for it, we will go live if there is a PDS tornado warning or something significant to warrant a urgent stream, where we go live within the matter of seconds on an unplanned live stream like last night. So we try our best to do that. And we've done countless urgent live streams on this channel. Countless urgent streams. So, yeah. Is it traveling to Ohio? We're not really expecting anything too crazy for Ohio anytime soon, but we are monitoring the threat for severe weather possibly towards next week. So like a little over a week from today, about Tuesday, Wednesday, next week. But that threat is extremely uncertain, and we don't even know the placement of it. So That might or might not include Ohio, but that's the next system I'm watching for that general vicinity. But the next severe system watching is tomorrow and Wednesday, possibly Thursday as well. And then after that, we're watching Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then after that system, we're going to watch even after that. So whether you like it or not, we're going to have multiple multi-day severe weather setups, most of which will probably end up being significant and possible outbreaks. So yeah. Thank you guys for the support on the channel and in this live stream. We're going to do 3-minute outro music as we normally do. So that will be here in a couple minutes. We'll switch to the ending screen shortly. I'm going to go ahead and start looping our latest model run here on the H triple. Actually, we'll do the NAM 3K because it shows it a bit more further out. Shows it further out there. So yeah. Once again, if you want to, go watch my newest video. Link is in the chat. Once again, that's the newest video I uploaded. If you're just tuning in, that video will give you all the details that we said in this 2.5-hour live stream in a matter of 9.5 minutes, less than 9.5 minutes. So much quicker, more relayed information. However, I didn't go as in-depth on that video as I did in this stream, which, like I said, I do believe a tornado outbreak will be possible tomorrow in portions of western central Iowa as well as eastern Nebraska, maybe into northeastern Kansas, northwestern Missouri. So we'll keep a very close eye on that. Of course, there's a chance that model's significantly downtrend, and that's not a possibility anymore, but I do think that's going to be a possible outbreak. So, yeah. Let's see here. So, believe it or not, this is going to be the 10th most popular live stream on the channel. That shows you how much we've broken like so many records in just the last month. We consistently break records there. So that's all because of you guys. I just sit here and talk. You guys share the stream. You guys like the stream. You guys subscribe to the channel. So that's you guys. Y'all are supporting the channel. You guys are growing the channel. So yep, we're going to go ahead and head to the ending screen now. Music will play here in about 45 seconds. Thank you so much for tuning in. On your way out, if you can, go ahead and hit that like button and share the channel with your family, friends, social media. We've already had over 40 shares this month alone, so that is always appreciated. And hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel on your way out as well. And please go watch my video again. The link is in the chat. There's 3 links in the chat now. And I will see you guys tomorrow, probably around 3-4 p.m. Eastern time for a live coverage stream that will probably last anywhere between 3-4 p.m. Eastern all the way through possibly as late as 10 or 11. So we'll just see how long we go for tomorrow. That's going to just depend on how significant the severe weather is. Stay safe, watch severe weather. I'll see you guys in tomorrow's live stream. Have a great rest of your night. Goodbye. Stay safe, watch the severe weather, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's live stream about 3, 4 p.m. Eastern. Have a great rest of your night. Goodbye.